Hello, my name is Vanessa Zimmerman, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about bog bodies. We're going to start with what is a bog and where you find them. Then we're going to move on to the bog mummification process, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the cultural significance of these bogs to the people who live near them. And finally, we'll finish up with some case studies. A bog is a type of wetland that accumulates dead plant material and sphagnum moss. This moss grows extremely slow, and over time, as the material compresses into tightly packed mud called peat, it can be cut, dried, and used similarly to firewood. In addition, the waters of a bog are extremely acidic and contain humic acid, also called bog acid. These cold acidic waters are the perfect conditions for preservation, and artifacts as well as bodies are often found inside them. Peat bogs occur naturally across northern Europe in low-lying areas with poor soil drainage. The large map below shows the location of some of Europe's most well-known bog bodies. As you can see in the second map below, Ireland is covered in bogland, and it is no surprise to hear that these bodies often lie undisturbed until large peat-cutting tractors clear the bog area. It is important to note that bog bodies are extremely rare because of the precise environment needed to preserve the body. This graphic shows that as the peat bog expands over thousands of years, it engulfs its surroundings and buries evidence of the past. Many archaeologists believe that the bog bodies were purposefully placed into the bog in late winter and early spring when the water is coldest for ritualistic purposes. So what happens to the body once it's in the water? And why does the body not decay? The weight of the bog compresses the peat to a point where no oxygen remains in the cold acidic water. As the sphagnum moss decays, it leaves behind a carbohydrate polymer called sphagnum. Sphagnum does two things. It binds nitrogen, which slows bacterial growth, and extracts calcium from the body, which weakens the bone structure. This combination of specific environmental factors is responsible for the remarkable preservation of the bog bodies. Archaeologists believe that in Celtic society, bogs were sacred sites used for various significant rituals, which could have included human sacrifices. Often, Iron Age artifacts are found in the bogs in high concentrations within the same context, which we can interpret as a type of offering to the gods through the bog. The evidence suggests that several of these bodies were intentionally weighed down into the bog to ensure they are submerged and preserved in the water. Our first case study is one of the most well-known bog bodies of all, Toland Man from the Jutland Peninsula of Denmark. He is believed to have died nearly 2,500 years ago and was discovered in 1950 by a pair of brothers cutting peat in their local bog. He was found wearing only a leather cap and belt, and his cause of death was determined to be hanging by the leather rope preserved around his neck. This is significant because the traditional local burial practice of the time in Denmark was cremation, but Toland Man seems to have been placed in the bog purposefully. Sadly, upon removal from the cold acidic bog water, the remaining soft tissue of the body began to deteriorate significantly. His head has been remarkably preserved, but over the last 50 years, his body has been reduced to skeletal remains. Clooney Cavan Man was discovered in March 2003 in County Meath, Ireland by a peat cutting machine, which may have removed his lower body in the process. He is known for his exceptionally preserved hair, which shows evidence of gel containing plant oil and pine resin. The cause of death was most likely 3 significant blows to the head, but his nipples were removed and he was also disemboweled. Old Croghan Man was found 3 months after Clooney Cavan Man, near Croghan Hill in County Offaly, Ireland. He's estimated to have been approximately 6'6", making him extremely tall for his time. The cause of death was likely a stab wound to the chest, but he was decapitated, cut in half, and his nipples were removed post-mortem. He was found naked with exception to the leather armband shown here, which could have been a sign of his status. My own archaeological background comes from a lifelong passion for digging in the dirt. I am pursuing an anthropology degree with an emphasis on archaeology and biological anthropology. And last summer I attended a field school in Ireland through NUI Galway. While at Cairconnell Stone Fort, I was able to excavate this hollowed out piece of long bone, most likely from a pig or sheep, that may have been used as a handle for a tool like a knife. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this project, and I look forward to seeing everyone else's work.